So, you were forced into doing that full time, doing music full time. But for people who aren't, is there any other strategy, maybe a less common one, that people can use to progress their transition or speed it up almost?
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely. I actually like the word speeding it up, right? Because like I think you should not be afraid to just like pay for a music class or take a course at whatever learning institution you might come across. Cause like, staying in that mindset that like time is somewhat limited when you are working full time, like you really can't be afraid to optimize your learning. And hiring a coach or taking a class is really just going to like streamline everything for you, because like I'm not saying to go buy everything under the sun, but if there's a particular class or like an online course that you really think you would benefit from, like do it. Like there's just absolutely no way that you will regret it. Like I took a pretty expensive dubspot course back in 2012, and I'm not gonna lie, like it has paid off 10x, like maybe even 100x. Just because like taking a class got me into like a little bit of a different mindset and just streamlined some of my production techniques. And like there's tons of amazing tutorials out there and like plenty of free content. Like I'll never discredit like the internet, right? Like there's so much out there, but like there's almost so much out there that you could never stop learning. And I think filtering out like what's valuable versus what might be wasting your time can be very tough to discern on your own. So yeah, that would be like the major thing, like just not being afraid to invest in a class that could really just like cut through a lot of the stuff out there that might not be valuable or that's not benefiting your learning.
Yeah, I agree with that. Obviously I'm a little bit biased, but there is a ton of good, like great free stuff out there, but like you say, it can sometimes be hard to, like it's not always well organized, and it can be hard to
exactly, yeah,
especially as a new producer, find something that gives you a big picture view as well as like the technical details. Right.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think that like that ability to kind of look at the whole production process and then kind of apply it to your production process, like is kind of hard to come across. Like not a lot of courses are going to offer that or do that, or the tutorials out there online are going to offer that kind of like a overarching kind of solution to your production problems.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not sure why people are afraid to pay for stuff. I mean, to use like a business analogy, it's interesting that the businesses who are afraid of spending money, like you come across people who don't want to pay $20 a month for like a software service that will save them 10 hours a month. And I think if you want to become a full-time music producer, you have to kind of get used to this idea of investing in yourself and in your craft. And sometimes that means spending money. Like people will not hesitate to spend money on gear, but they will when it comes to like an educational course or one-on-one tutoring, which I think is super valuable.
Yeah. Well, I think, some people, there's probably a little bit of an ego thing there, like to let go of being able to say that I did it all by myself. I mean, I was like that in golf. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like at one point I had never taken a lesson and I thought that I didn't need it. And I thought I could just like be good without it. And like, that was like a straight up ego thing. Like, why, like, what does it matter? Like, the second I sat down with like a professional and showed me a few things here and there, like my game instantly improved. And like, it's the same thing. Like, why do you want to do it all by yourself? Like, people should want to, kind of like hire coaches and talk to the people who have kind of already gone through the process. And I mean, again, all it really does is just streamline the process for you. And you don't have to take all of the advice, right? Like, you can pick the bits and pieces that work for you. But yeah, I think the major thing is like, it's like an ego thing a little bit, to just be able to let go and like, and say like, hey, like I got help from someone else. And like, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing.